how to build a real business that hits 10, 15, 20K months, like real 5-figure months. My name's Harleen. People call me Rambo on social media. And I've hit 5-figure months. I've had agency owners hit 5-figure months. And I've also helped coaches hit 5-figure months too. So this whole idea of wanting to build 5-figure months, it starts from people, well, not everyone, but a lot of people just finished college or something along those lines, and they want to enter entrepreneurship and business, right? And it was the same thing for me. I've just finished university in the UK. People call it college. And I wanted to start business and I wanted to make a lot of money, but I really didn't understand how these people on the internet were doing it. I was trying everything and I was doing what the people were telling me to do on YouTube and social media, right? And I just couldn't for the life of me figure out what the problem was. Like I was watching Jordan Platten on YouTube. He's pretty good at cold calling. I tried cold calling, spent a lot of time getting the lead list, and then spent a lot of time calling people up. Did not work. I bought a course which told me to do cold DMs, spent thousands on that, or 8,000 on that. That didn't work either. So I was genuinely stumped, right? And I quickly realized that my problem wasn't that my business was necessarily bad. I just had no buddies to sell to, right? And I really need you to take this in. If you are a small slash new business, and by small, technically it means less than 3 million in revenue per year, but I'm talking like tiny business where you're making less than 5 figures, like making less than 10K, you need to understand that it's genuinely so easy to do. You just have to realize that this is a traffic constraint, meaning you just don't have enough people seeing the thing that you buy. Does that make sense? Because we get so caught up as entrepreneurs working in and on the business, especially if you're a solopreneur, like a solo entrepreneur, um, we get so caught up with that. We don't realize that other people don't know that we exist, right? We think we exist and we get frustrated because we're in the loop of the business 24/7. Like even when we're meant to be taking time off, if you're an entrepreneur, you know that you're constantly thinking about business all the time, right? And we also get stuck in the loop where we think we should be doing things like cold outreach, emailing a whole bunch of people, mass emailing people, cold DMs without, and if you're inexperienced, you'd probably been action blocked before of Instagram if you're trying to hit DMs up. And doing cold calls, obviously, it's not scalable because how are you meant to reach a lot of people per day? So if you want a lot of people per day to be actually seeing your stuff and get the traffic that you need onto your page, there's only 3 things that you can do. And if anyone tells you anything different to generate leads through traffic, I promise you they are lying. You can only do outreach, content, and run paid ads. And I'm going to walk through all 3 of these things because you need to know the realities of doing these 3 things, because your boy in front of you has done all 3 things. And I can tell you right now exactly what works. So let's begin with outreach, right? I've never tried email outreach, but email outreach is essentially where you send a whole bunch of emails to people. And I'm talking in the thousands. Like, don't think you're doing email outreach to enough level if you're not sending at least thousands of emails per day. A lot of the time, people think you can send like 20, 5, 10, 15, 20 emails per day or even per week and you call it a day. Like, that's not enough emails. You need to understand that you need to think massive, right? When it comes to traffic, you need to think huge. So outreach, a lot of the time, is out of the picture unless you want to hire a massive team. But you also have to understand when you're doing outreach and you're one-to-one DMing people, like, just think about it. Would you like someone coming up to you to sell you something? I remember one time I went to Meadow Hall in Sheffield. It's like a big shopping mall, and there were people coming up to me to try to give me a free sample. And the thing is, I said no because I just didn't want it, right? Even though I had the money to like buy the thing that they were ultimately wanting me to sell, I did not want the free sample because I was being sold to. And people don't like being sold to. They like buying things themselves, right? So when you are going to someone, you lose leverage, and it's just very hard to like sell them something. So outreach is kind of out of the picture, right? Like unless you're obviously sending thousands or calling thousands of people every single day. But even if you do that, like mass email outreach, you have to buy domains and warm them up over a period of 2 weeks. So you're spending 2 weeks doing nothing, basically. You're not getting business in. And even if you go on instantly and buy a pre-warmed domain, like those things are like they can run out. So if you're out of luck, if you have to wait for pre-warmed domains, like it's annoying to do. You don't want to hire a team either, because if you're starting brand new, you don't want to be spending so much money up front without seeing anything, like any like actual ROI. Like that's a bad position to be in. Obviously, that depends case by case. So outreach is kind of already out of the picture. It's very annoying, difficult to manage. It's free, but you don't see how much it's actually costing you, right? So let's forget outreach. The second thing is content, right? And yes, I make content. And the thing is, you can generate traffic through content, like absolutely, but it's more of a nurturing tool, right? And I'll explain what I mean by nurturing. Nurturing is just getting people warmed up to you so that they can know, like, and trust you, right? And if they know, like, and trust you, that's when you buy things. Like, just think about it. If you have an iPhone, you only bought an iPhone because you know about Apple, you like Apple, and you trust Apple, right? Like, that's the only reason you have an iPhone. You know them, you've liked them enough, you like their camera, and you trust that they're not like a crappy phone company. So you buy their phones. So that's what content does for you. It gets people to know, like, and trust you. However, if you rely on content, like just organic, to try and generate leads, it's such a pain in the backside. Like, trust me, if you had a brand new account and I said to you, yo, go make 10K in the first month of doing business, like it would be incredibly hard for you to do so. I've had friends that have gone viral on social media. Best believe they are not making any type of money at all. And it's kind of sad to see, because they do spend a lot of time trying to go viral, but it's not like you can't rely on going viral because it's unpredictable. Trends are changing all the time. And when you do go viral, you are bringing the wrong type of audience in, right? Like these people are just here to be entertained. They're not actually here to buy something off of you. So it's a very difficult ocean or trail to navigate when you go down the route of content. And trust me, like I used to post a lot of philosophy, religious content, and ultimately I did want to post business content. But because I was so focused on trying to get views and things, A, you get depressed because you don't know what will bang and what doesn't bang. And B, you'll also still get depressed because you're just not making sales, right? So that's like a that's difficult too. Content is hard if you're solely relying on that to get leads. And it also takes such a long time as well, man. And it's just hard. Just believe me, it's hard and it's painful and it's not scalable. Well, it is scalable, but it's not what's it called? Predictable as you want it to be. Which brings me on to the third point, which is ads. Oh, and by the way, with content, like content is still amazing, but that shouldn't be your traffic generation thing. That should be your nurturing tool. Like it's a very powerful nurturing tool that gets people to convert over time. But anyway, moving on. Which brings me on to paid advertising. So paid advertising is basically where you pay an advertising platform. An advertising platform is literally anything that has attention. So Meta, meaning Facebook, Instagram, even WhatsApp, you can use it as an advertising platform. TikTok, you can use Reddit, Pinterest, X, which was formerly Twitter, even Amazon. You can use. I think you can even advertise on Spotify, I believe. Not 100% sure on that, but anywhere where there's attention, you can 100% advertise on, right? And with paid advertising, like these companies are very, very big. They have a lot of money and they invest a lot of money into their advertising algorithms. So the great thing about this is business to business, like the B2B industry, is very, very profitable because businesses are willing to spend a lot of money. And the reason why these advertising platforms, so Meta advertising is the best one, by the way. It has the highest return on investment, super, super cheap to advertise on. Like it's hands down the best way. to advertise. Again, also depending on your offer and things, but just take my word for it. Amazing way to advertise. With Meta's advertising platform, businesses will easily they'll willy nilly just spend like 40K per month on ads. And I just think how many businesses there are in the world. Like these guys will spend so much money on ads, and that's like a chunk of how much money. That's like a chunk of like Meta's revenue. That's how they make a lot of money. So they want to make sure they retain as many business owners as possible so that they keep spending money on the advertising platform. So how Meta essentially or any advertising platform will pay businesses or like give them the value is by giving them traffic, like giving them views or impressions on their advertisement. It's very similar to TV advertisement, by the way. When you were younger, or even now, if you switch on TV between shows, you'll have advertisements pop up. It's the same concept. Like your attention was there, so that's where they'll bring the advertisement to. That's where businesses will advertise. So now that our attention is on the Meta platform, again, that's how we get advertised to. But with this type of advertising, yes, it can be upfront more expensive, but I promise you it's the most predictable and scalable way to grow a business. And on top of that, you will literally be reaching, depending on how much you spend as well. Like, even if you only spend like $50 per day, you'll be reaching thousands of people per day. Like, I'm talking between like 1 to 3,000 people per day, just with a $50, $60 per day ad spend, which isn't a lot in advertising world, by the way. And even if you only spend like $35 per day, you'll be reaching thousands of people every single day, which is a very, very powerful position to be in. So the only real con of paid advertising is there's a little bit of upfront cost. But because you're reaching so many people, like you will have people paying a lot of attention to you. And just think about it like this. If you had 10 million of your absolute ideal prospect looking at your offer, I promise you, you won't be under 10K per month. Like realistically, it's probably just a traffic constraint, unless there's some operational issues that you need to fix first, right? So when I first started off with business and I was looking into like these ways of generating traffic because I realized I had no bodies to sell to. I I just started running advertisements. It wasn't profitable from the get-go, but it meant that I was one step closer because so many people were hitting me up, right? And you might be thinking right now, okay, cool, I get it. Paid advertisements is like the best way to scale. What do I do? Like, how do I actually run these advertisements? So people are under the misconception that if you want to run an ad on Instagram, you make a post and you click boost post. Please, for the love of God, do not do that. You can't control targeting. It's very limited with what you do. And a lot of the time, you might not even want your advertisement to be a post in the first place. Like, don't get it twisted. If you have a piece of content that's performed better than others, it will probably perform really well as an advertisement. And I've learned that from experience, and even big business people, influencers like Alex Hamosi say that too, right? But how you actually run an ad is by literally doing the following. And if you follow this like step by step, like that's basically you've got the foundations to start bringing in thousands of eyeballs to your business. And just think about it, like imagine what 1,000 eyeballs per day, 2,000 eyeballs per day. And if you're spending more money, like $100 per day, which is like still relatively not a lot, $200, $300, $400 per day, imagine how many tens of thousands of eyeballs would be seeing your offer every single day. Imagine what that would do for you. You know, like you would definitely have like some inquiries at the very least, right? But to set these foundations, what you need to do, the first thing is go to business.facebook.com and you'll be greeted by this page after you accept cookies to log in, right? And you just want to log in with your personal Facebook account. Please make sure it's with a personal Facebook account, because I've noticed people have issues when they make a new Facebook account and they make new accounts and stuff for things, which is like you don't really want to do. Because think about it, right? Meta would prefer to have real people and business owners advertising on their platform. If they allowed anyone to advertise, trust me, there would be a lot more scammers on Meta trying to just take your money, right? So make sure you use your personal Facebook account when you go to business.facebook.com to log in, because that tells Meta, okay, this account has been active for a while. They must have some sort of business they want to advertise on our platform. Like, it doesn't flag up on the back end of their system, right? And after you've logged in with your Facebook, you want to link it to like the Meta Business Suite home, and also link your Instagram. And another thing I want to say as well, if you are a coach, doesn't really apply too much to agency owners unless you want to go down the personal branding route. But if you are a coach specifically, like for this section of the video, please, for the love of God, stop making new accounts. Just use your personal page. There's no benefit of making a brand new account at all. You're just scared of what other people will think of you. But if you're scared of what other people will think of you, why are you not still continuing doing a college degree and working a 9 to 5 job? Like, you want to do more, right? So just like grow up a little bit, mature a little bit, and use your personal page, because first of all, your personal page probably has a few followers on there. Like, if you've got what, like 500-600 followers, maybe you're at a head start, right? You only need to get to 1,000 to be credible, and you only need to pay for that blue check, which is like 11, 12, $15 per day and per month, sorry. And you get a whole bunch of extra support, which is awesome. So just use your personal page, and if you don't have like a lot of followers on your personal page, I still recommend you use your personal Instagram page as well, because again, like the personal Facebook page, it tells Meta, okay, this is a real person, because now that we've got a personal Facebook page and we also have a personal Instagram page, so this must be a real person. Your whole advertising accounts and stuff, they just won't get banned as easy. So again, there's no real advantage to making a brand new account. But yeah, once you've linked your Facebook page, your Instagram page to Meta Business Suite, the next thing to do is to head over to settings, and you should see an option in there somewhere to go into ad accounts and then add an asset, which would be a new ad account, right? Your ads will be running off Facebook and Instagram, but you'll need an ad account. It's like a sub layer. I don't really know how to explain it, but this is just what you need to start running advertisements. And once you have a new ad account that you've made, and by the way, make sure you verify everything in your emails when you set up these accounts, you want to go into all tools, and you should now have access to Advertising Manager, Adverts Manager. This is where you manage your advertisements, obviously. And from this place, there'll be a green button where you can just click new campaign. Like, it'll be a plus, new campaign, and it'll be a big green button on like the top left or the top right. Now, this is everything you need. You have the foundations to start hitting thousands and thousands of people every single day, of ideal prospects, by the way, not just random people, like thousands of your ideal prospects that the advertising platform will already know based off your ad copy, like what you write in the ad, what you say in the ad, any pictures you use, what your landing page looks like. Like, the platform already knows what type of people to reach, and like, poof, you've basically solved your traffic constraint, the traffic constraint of your business. Like, you're set up to start hitting 5-figure months, right? This is quite kind of insane, by the way, because I want to just congratulate you if you got this far, of like setting up these accounts, because it took me years to figure that out. Like, I was so clueless that I didn't even know what to search on YouTube to like figure out how to set this stuff up. So if I can hit like 25K months, like, trust me, you can too, because I was super clueless. But anyway, now that we got that out of the way, now that you've understood, okay, ads is what you need, this is how you basically set the ads up. The third thing is you need to start respecting yourself, right? And let me explain. A lot of the time, new agency owners, and for whatever reason, even veteran coaches who are already hitting like 80K months, you guys, for whatever reason, you don't feel qualified enough to give people or serve people, like either through a service that you provide, like a done for you service, or a done with you service, some sort of coaching or course or whatever it is that you sell. You guys don't feel qualified enough to help people. And I'm gonna give you like this story which will blow your mind. Before I was even hitting like not even 2K, before I even made 1.5K dollars USD in my business, I signed on a 3K client. I really want this to sink in, right? Before I cracked 1.5K in my business, I signed on a 3K client, and I'll tell you why. In my head, I thought, okay, in order for me to start this business where I can show people how to advertise and make content and stuff and like monetize it, I have to at least hit 5 or 10K per month. Like it was just something in my head. Like, and everyone has this like expert myth where in order for me to provide this help, I need to achieve X thing first. But in reality, you only need to be 10% ahead of your clients in order to help them. And you really like that little 10%, you really need to value that experience that you have as a person and how much it took for you to get that little 10% ahead. Because it's like for me to get that 10% ahead, like before I even closed any deals, I was at least booking in calls through my ad stuff, like relatively new as well. Like I only figured out how to book in the calls like a week ago at this point. And because somebody else saw that, who came in from an ad, by the way, he saw me post on my story. By the way, story posting is content which is nurturing, warming these people up. He saw me post on my story after coming in through an ad that I booked in like I don't even know, like 19 calls in 2 weeks, or I booked in 9 calls in a single week. And he was blown away by that. And he already saw how much money he could make if he learned how to run ads like I was running the ads. And when we got on call, because I was already at a point where I was like I just need to make money. I said screw it. I'm just gonna charge him 3K, and he said done, and he paid me in full. In fact, he paid me in full, and after he paid me, I realized, oh, I didn't have to already be making 10K per month, 15, 20K. I didn't have to be making big numbers. I didn't even have to be making 2K per month to sign on a 3K client because I only had to be 10% ahead. He valued that little bit ahead I was. And what happened from there, by the way, it just snowballed. Like, I got this guy hitting like 25K in his first month of business. He had no idea how to run ads, he had no idea how to close deals. Like even I didn't know how to do that much at that point, and I still got him hitting 25,000 in his first 30 days of business. And I'm pretty sure like he even booked in over 100 calls at some point, like in a month, by the way, with only a $40 per day ad spend. And these are like 100 calls for a 2K plus offer. Like this offer that he was selling was $2,000. So like serious money. And by the way, same thing happened to me. Like after I signed him on, I finally had the ad spend to like put into advertising. And at this point, I was spending like $65 per day. And yeah, that's when I hit 25K in a month as well. So this is like very serious stuff. Like you don't underestimate your experience, even if you don't value it as good enough, right? So again, you only need to be 10% ahead of your client in order to be super valuable to them, and make sure you value yourself enough and respect yourself enough to actually make a change in their business and their life. Because when you do value yourself, that's when you'll actually charge the money that you like deserve, right? Don't be in the position where I was in, where I got beat up so much, like business wise, where I was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna charge 3K and see what happens. Like, don't have that mentality of I'm so beat up, screw it, let's just see what happens. Be there from the start. Just be like, yeah, I just charged 3K because I promise you'll make an infinite more money, right? So, let's see what else I've got to tell you guys. Making good money isn't anywhere near as difficult as you think it is, and good money is like 10K plus per month. Like it's nowhere near as hard as you think it is. It's so doable, right? But you just need to have enough belief in yourself that you can do it, and you need to have enough people to sell to. Don't get too caught up in the whole idea of, yeah, I need to be able to, you know, be at a certain position before I can start selling to people. right? Like, get that stuff out of your head. It's literally a limiting belief. And it was like one of the hardest limiting beliefs that I had to overcome. And don't underestimate how much people don't know you exist. Because you're in business a lot, you forget how much people don't care about you and completely forget that you exist. Like, someone will see your ad, probably scroll past it, and then they'll see it again, and then they'll probably want to click on your profile and check you out. And even then, they probably won't even inquire until after you've posted a couple of pieces of content, or they've seen you at least a couple of more times. And between those times, by the way, they will forget about you. Like, we get so caught up with our own business, we forget how forgetful and busy other people are. Right? So those are like two big things. Don't forget how busy other people are and how much you need to be in their face. And B, don't forget how much traffic you truly need to make some money. Like, you need to have thousands of people see your page. Literally, I'm talking like thousands of, like, to see your ad. Sorry, you need thousands of people to see your ad. And I promise you, once the amount of clicks and numbers you get is enough, you'll inevitably start getting sales. Even if you are a total beginner and you've never made money, 100% you can. And by the way, this whole video, it will solve like the biggest constraint of your business right now if you are under 10K per month, whether you're experienced or inexperienced, but below the 10K per month point. Like, this will fix that problem. Just literally start running ads, start getting traffic, just start having bodies to sell to. Because right now you have no bodies to sell to, if that makes sense. But you'll quickly realize that, like, this whole system, this whole thing, it needs to be refined, and it needs to be implemented in a way specifically tailored for your business. And trust me when I say this, I genuinely have like the best system for this. 100%. It's called the resonance funnel. And this place is where it's in the name. It's a resonance funnel because you're selling to real people. You need to be able to resonate with the people you're selling to, right? So you need to have ads go, like, the things you actually put in the ads, it needs to be very specific to who you're selling to. And I really wish I could give you, like, tell you on a YouTube video, like, this is exactly who you need to be reaching out to. But think of how many different agencies there are. Think of how many different coaches there are. You really need to get in the head of your ideal prospect and speak to them and tailor your messaging towards that person. Right? When you do these advertisements and you start running these ads to the masses. And in order for you to actually implement this properly, because by the way, I've poured my own money into this, all of my clients' money has gone into this, we've made a whole bunch of money as well. You probably want some help doing that, right? And I promise you, this is hands down the best place on earth to get the help that you need to do this type of stuff. So in the description, there'll be something that says book a call. Literally, you will have a one-to-one call slot with me. It will be on the website rambocontent.com. You can flick through the testimonials, see what I'm about, and genuinely just go book in a call. It's not a high pressure call at all, and we'll figure out how we can tailor this stuff to you, your business, and get you either onboarded or at least pointed in the right direction. More than likely, if you are serious and watching this video and you've watched all the way through, you'll probably want to be onboarded, because I promise this stuff will change your life exactly how it changed my life, other clients of mine, like, their lives as well, like Harry, Aaron, a whole bunch of people, right? So check that out in the description, rambocontent.com. If you have any like general questions, leave a comment or go ahead, DM me on Instagram, and make sure you subscribe.